Oh, my hair is standing up. Go down here. Do I have a banner that I like to use? I guess I will use that one for now till I figure something else out.
Want to shave?
He like, no, I'm trying to get my hair right. I ain't trying to shave my hair off. Just want to say he trying to get back right. Huh, Poochie? Poochie, you trying to get your hair to grow back? He like, why? So did that thing not come up with a Oh no, it did.
Oops.
You in there tearing it up?
Oops.
You in there tearing it up?
Why not? Okay, so here's my.
You know I'm on live, right? So don't say anything crazy.
I was going to talk about the God thing that we were talking about.
That's what we talking about. So go ahead.
Okay. I didn't know you were talking about the dude in the coat. I didn't know that's where that stemmed from.
Oh, but it's still a question though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, coming from that perspective, I see what you're saying about is that a healthy belief to hold?
Right.
So here's from my perspective, because I do hold that belief. That's why it was interesting when you brought it up. And that belief can go in so many ways based on where it comes from, either love or fear, I believe. See, because from my point of view, with the term that you are a God and I am a God, if I hold that to be true, then that means that everybody's God, or everybody has the essence of God. Knowing that, how can I have aught with you? True, wrong. So if I believe that, then I act from a place of love, saying that you are just as worthy to everything as I am. I've often said that, well, we are co-creators. We create realities for us on some level, not on every level, but on some level we do. And not to say that we are above or beneath anybody or anything, but to be equal with. Just as Jesus said, it's not robbery to be equal with God. So I say that on some levels we are, and there's some levels that we're not.
Then where do you pick and choose though?
You pick and choose based on where you see yourself, or the platform that you come from. If you come from a place of fear, then it would be more of I am this and you are not. It would be a place of where, I guess, and I don't know the guy, I don't know him, but from his position, he's gotten to not only believe it, but others around him believe it also.
Yeah, but that's not a place of fear. That's a place of ego.
Well, okay,
that's allowing your ego to take
but
over.
See, that's still at the basis. It still moves from fear because you're afraid to. There's a place. Ego exists as a thing that's reflective of what other people think of you. So if you have a bruised ego, that just simply means you let somebody else's thought of you affect who you are. So if his ego is so big that, well, everybody thinks I'm God, so I must be. That's his ego. It comes from fear because you're afraid to reveal or you're afraid to express who you truly are. And you may be overwhelmed with who you think you are. You may have a quote a big head because you're saying I'm this, I'm that, and I'm the other. But deep down, if you're going to prison, you're going to jail, and all these things are coming up on you, there is a portion that may somewhere in your mind go, wait a minute, am I really? Am I really? You know what? I'm not going to even acknowledge that. I'm just going to go ahead and ride this out. So, yes, I am. And we know that the more you repeat anything, even if it's a lie, it becomes your truth. So, from his point of view, sure. And from other people's point of view also, because they believe it. Now, we can look back and say, oh, it's wrong, but how many prophets, how many people who have claimed certain things and they have claimed it and followed through just by their actions, other people have said, well, he must be. And it comes from the fact that we are not sure of ourselves. We are all looking for a hero or a leader or somebody to tell us what do we do, which way do we go in this thing called life. We all fall into that at some point. As soon as somebody stands up and claims that I know the way, they're going to get a listen. They're going to get a listen. And we can say, okay, those followers have low self-esteem. Those followers are stupid. Those followers are dumb. But they are just as powerful as the person that's claiming to have all that power. They're just not aware of it. Or even if they are aware of it, they're not willing to act on it. So I say, yeah, I got that same feeling. But I tend to, well, I say I try or I attempt to, because there are times when, I can be upset at somebody. Then I have to take a step back and say, you know what? This person is somebody's son, somebody's father. This person somewhere in the world is deeply loved, just as I am deeply loved. And in this moment, there may be a misunderstanding, which causes us to get at each other. Instead with Mike Tyson, who knows? Who knows what was on the other guy's mind? Did he think he could beat Mike Tyson? We don't know. Did he think that this is an opportunity to get some claim? Maybe he wanted to get hit. We don't know. But whatever was going on between those two people, whatever was going on, it just got to the point to where the only solution is going to be this violent solution. And I mean, is it really a solution? It's just another bump in that road. But still, when you look back and say, that's a person that wants to be loved and is loved, is somebody's father, somebody's son, somebody's grandparent. When you start to think about things like that, even the person who you just shot, you were angry at the time.
I mean, I agree with you, not with this person's situation though, because if you're put in a position where someone is saying that they are God, but they are hurting other people, it's hard for you to then look at that person and say, oh, well, that's someone's child, or that, person deserves to be loved, and they're not even showing love. So if you're supposed to be God,
what's the solution? If
there's no solution.
So what should be done?
I'm pretty sure what is being done is what should be done. He should be in jail.
And that's it.
That's his solution. He should be in jail. He should suffer the consequences for the people that he hurt.
Sure.
Because he has hurt a lot of people in the process of him calling himself God.
Of course. Well, I don't take anything away.
And I really don't, I really would not have a problem with this whole situation if this person was calling themselves God and they were really out here helping other people instead of hurting other people. But it seems to me that every cult leader who considers themselves God or above everybody else, the end result for the people who have joined the cult is usually some form of death, either brought on by the leader himself or brought on because the leader would not surrender to the police when they came there to help. And then the people that follow them still end up dying. So you call yourself God, but you put the people that have been entrusted in your care, under your care, you have them, either you slaughter them yourself or they are slaughtered. That's my only thing. If you're going to call yourself God, then you need to show the same level of love and compassion that God shows to us, to the people that you have been entrusted with. Because it's just like Gizmo, we don't own Gizmo, but we are his guardians. We have been entrusted to take care of him, to take him to the vet, to feed him, to make sure he has enough food and water and a safe, warm environment to thrive in. I would be less than human to take him into my care and abuse him, and not only abuse him, but then the end result for him would be death.
Well, what's to say when God makes a deal with the devil and says that, have you considered my servant Job? He's perfect. He's perfect in every right. And he makes a deal so much so that says that you can do whatever you want to him, but save his life. Don't touch his life. You can do anything else you want to. And that devil goes down after he come out of that meeting with God. He goes down. He don't kill Job, but he kills his children, his cattle, all that made him worth. He destroyed all of that. And although he didn't kill him, he gave him hives and all these other whatever kind of disease it was, and had him in a place where he longed for death at a time. Now, this is a loving God who made a deal with the devil. I say it's a deal. Okay, I could be overstepping for saying that, but still, it came out that way. That's God. What's the difference? Now he's allowing, he's not causing, but he allows hardship to come upon him. And in the end result, after all was said and done, he said, I'm God. Where were you when I was creating all this? Where were you when I did this and that? So I can do what I want to do. So if you're crying about that, tough luck. I'm God. That was the end result from that. So you got some dude that's, I don't know all of the ins and outs of what's going on, but I hear you. But yeah, cult leaders are doing what they feel is best for them and their people. And if that means we got to stand up to the police, if that means that some of y'all may die, then so be it. Because the idea is worth the death, whatever that idea is. We're going to heaven, or the other side is great. Whatever that idea is, they feel that that's the better thing. And I'm here to lead you there. So you still come out with hurt and hardship, but from the leader's eyes, and apparently the way that it was, I guess the way that the narrative goes in the book of Job, I could be wrong. Again, this is my opinion. I could be wrong. The way that narrative kind of plays out is that all these things happen as a process. It's supposed to come up to where there's hardship and things like that. But how do we know? How do we know it's really bad? Because to everything, there's a purpose. Everything, there is a purpose. We may not see it, but in the grand scheme of things, maybe there's a reason that the lady who had her illness and she got out there and she died. Maybe there's a reason. Well, let's say there is a reason behind that. And we can look at it from the surface level and say, well, she was maybe foolish to go out there without medical help or maybe planning ahead. And we can look at it from that level on. But maybe if we pull back a little further, maybe in the next year or decade or something because of that will affect somebody else coming up. Who knows? But if we take that to everything, there's a season, and everything there's a purpose, and all these things, from our level, we may see something that's completely bad. Yeah, it was a hurricane and it killed 1,000 people. From our point of view, that's a bad thing. But maybe from God's point of view, that's supposed to happen so we can do this or that.
Yeah, but our minds are not the same as God. So we're never going to see things in the same way that he sees them. Or we don't have that foresight sight. We don't have that mindset the same as God. If something is going to, happen later on, we are right now people. We focus on what is going on right now. We don't have time to focus on 10 years from now. The majority of people that are living now don't even have 5-year goals because we're not even thinking that far in the future. We're just looking at the situation that is going on right now or what has happened that we can see.
And yet that's still an opinion. I mean, it is.
Yeah, everybody has their own opinion about this situation because there are still people who believe that there are still people on his side. There are still people trying to raise money to bail him out of jail. So there are still people who believe that this situation, that what he did is right, or what he's doing is right, or his teachings are right. There are still people that agree with his teachings. Even after him being put in jail, there are still people on his side who believe that he is God. Now, the reason why I asked this question is yesterday or something, child. Yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. I posted on my community wall. This was the question. It was a question and then a statement after. So the question is, why do so many people feel they are closer to God than others? And my statement is we are all on the same level when it comes to God. We are all his children. So someone only had one person. I had 15 people thumbs up the question, but only one person commented. And I want y'all to comment. I don't want y'all to just thumbs up. Like, give me tell me why you thumbing it up. What do you feel? So the one person that did said true. But if we are all gods, then we aren't looking for anything outside of ourselves. I think people are more high on the knowledge. Now, I'm not really understanding the last part of that. Like, people are high on the knowledge. Like, what is the knowledge? The knowledge that you have, the knowledge that people are receiving, the knowledge that is floating. Like, what is the knowledge? I'm not really sure what that is. But the first part of that said, if we are all gods, is the part that got me. Are we all gods? Do you all believe that? Is the part that got me. Do you all believe that you are God? Do you believe you're God? Do you believe that we are all God? Or do you believe that you're God, but some people ain't God. And where does it, where does it stop? Are bad people not God? People that commit crimes, they're not God. They don't have the God in them that we have in us. So how are we or you God and other people are not God? Is basically my question.
That comes down to individual belief. If you believe you are, that's it. You don't have to prove it. You just believe that you are.
So you just walking around with this information, you're not telling anybody, but yeah, I'm God.
Who should you tell, and why should you have to tell them? If you believe that, because our society is one that likes to backlash and likes to disbunk and everything else, you may not want to. Why would I want to subject myself to people who doesn't believe what I believe? So you may feel that way and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna keep that to myself.
So then what sense does it make to be that? That's just like going to I'm gonna use college, going to college and getting a PhD, and because it actually takes a lot to get a PhD. So going to college and getting a PhD and working at McDonald's and not telling anybody. No one knows that you even have this PhD because you're working at McDonald's, you're happy working at McDonald's, and that's just the life that you've chosen. So why?
And maybe you're ashamed. Maybe you don't want to. I don't want nobody to know I got a PhD. And maybe in the course of getting the PhD, I'm happy about that. But my life all of a sudden took a change for whatever reason. Now I want to live in the camper, and I don't mind working at McDonald's.
So is that the same reason why you wouldn't want to tell people that you're a God because you're on Section 8, you're catching the bus?
Okay,
No, I'm just throwing this out here as,
exactly. But on a different level, you have people that run around believing that there's some other gender. I've heard it several times from people that says, I've lived X amount of years as a woman inside a man's body. They believe that. They didn't express it. They didn't express it until they took action on it. Bruce Jenner, classic example. He believed from I don't know how long that he was a woman in a man's body.
Yeah, but I think his thing, he didn't express it until it became more open and accepting by the masses. Then he felt comfortable enough to come out and say, "It's me."
He felt comfortable. The belief was still there. The belief is there. Nothing happened with the belief. It's just at some point he felt comfortable.
So I just want to know, how is it? Do people who consider themselves God, do they feel comfortable enough to tell other people that they are God? And if they don't, then why not?
But again, it goes the same way. Not only am I God, but everybody else is God. Some thoughts are like that we are all one and we are all God. So yeah, I can believe I'm God, but hell, you are too. So that's just like me coming and saying, you know what? I didn't want to say anything, but it's been on my heart. But I'm a human being. I'm a human. Okay, I am too. Yeah, but we're all human. Yeah. And it's just like that. We are all the same. So for me to say in the context that you're saying is like, I'm God, like all of a sudden I'm going to start glowing and floating in the air.
No, it's not like that. No, that's not even my point. My point is, if you are God, are you expressing it to other people? Are you allowing other people to have that information, or is that something that you're keeping to yourself for the people that consider themselves God? Are you telling other people? Do other people know that you're God? Because this is my belief. My belief is that we are created in the image of God. His image and likeness are we created. So of course we are all. Was that a blade?
Yeah, that's my blade.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay, don't be talking so much that you didn't cut yourself and stuff now. We're all created in the image of God. So if we're created in the image of God and his likeness is within all of us, that does not in now this is my opinion, y'all. Okay? Everyone is going to have their own opinion, and you can all express what your opinion is respectfully. Wait, hold on, babe. Come to the door. I think Mama at the door.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I think she there. Um, if we're all made in his likeness and his image, then that is within us. But that does not make us God. It makes us like God. We are still living this life in a human form. We are going through this life in a human form. We only have a certain amount of time to be here, and then our bodies will go back to the dust, back to God. If we were God, there would be no transition for us because God does not die. There's no transition for him. God is forever, as the old folks say, forever on the throne. He does not die and transition and come back. But we have to do that as humans, living this human experience. So that's, yeah, but Jesus came to earth as a human. Even though he was part of the Trinity, he lived a human experience. That's why his body was able to die, go to hell, preach, walk around heaven, do what he had to do. There's a gizmo here on me somewhere. Come back to earth, show the people, look, this is what my daddy did. I went through all this to save y'all so y'all wouldn't have to be, tripping and going through tribulation and all of this kind of stuff. And then I'm going home. That was because he was part of the Trinity. He had that power to do that. God gave him the power to do that. Even Jesus wasn't God. He had to die.
So Jesus is not God?
Not on the Jesus is part of the Trinity, but Jesus is not God. Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Aren't they one?
They are one, but they're different.
But they're one.
Yes.
Seems like case closed.
The case is not closed because there's a difference even between Jesus and God. Because Jesus wasn't there when God was creating the world. God did that by himself.
You said in the beginning was the word, and that's one of the preachers, they love to say that Jesus was there at creation, and because they're both one.
So Charles said, I don't consider myself a God, but I do believe I'm in control of my reality and life through my magic. And when I'm connected to my Ori, I am definitely in control. Well, we're all connected to our Ori. Your Ori is your head. So you come here connected to that. Now you may not understand the connection, but we are all connected to our ori. We're all connected to our head. There's no there is no disconnect there unless there's something going on. And a lot of that we grow into, you know, our alignment or true connection. But I do agree with you. I don't consider myself um I don't consider myself God. Not with the big G.
So let me say this and still be right. Or I should say, let me say this and not be blocked.
I'ma block you?
You can block me if you want.
How I'ma block you and you live in the same house with me?
What's the is this for just for a survey or information, or is this to prove a point that there is only one God?
No. There's no point. I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm just asking a question.
Because I just told you, yeah, I believe on God.
Okay, well then that's you, child.
I just said it. So if you ask me, yeah, sure. But I believe everyone is. So that, but again, these are all opinions.
Right. I said that too, though.
I don't have any facts. I don't have anything
Right.
to prove or anything like that.
Right.
But I do emphasize, because I operate from that, I have more of a tendency to look at someone in a different light. Whether I'm angry at them or anything, I can still look at them from a point of saying, oh, but you know, that person is me. I don't care, you know, I can say it now, he's a skinhead, or he's someone that hates me, or someone that spits on me, or they've done something to me, but I can say deep down, this person is me, is God like me. And that just that little inkling or that little belief allows me to operate just a little bit in a certain way towards that.
So what about the people? What about the stone cold killers?
Same thing.
They God too?
Yeah, the same thing. We may not agree. His actions are going to be far different than mine, but still, that person has a soul. That person, like you said, is created in his image. So, okay, he looks like God. He has the breath of God. So he has God's breath. What else is there? What else is there that makes that?
There's a lot. Person? There's compassion. There's love.
Wouldn't that come? Where does that come from? It would come from God.
Yeah, but if you're not, what I'm saying though, if you're not using those traits,
that's your choice. That's your choice. You don't have to use them. You're not.
Then how are you God if you out here killing people and murdering people and you in jail, like committing heinous crimes and stuff? I'm not talking about people that sell a dime bag of weed. I'm talking about people that be out here cutting people's heads off and stuff and keeping them in refrigerators. How are they God? What God is out here doing stuff like that?
Apparently that one is. Where do you get that from? Where would someone get that from to say I'm going to do this? You get it from the devil? Is that where that comes from?
I don't get
no, I'm just asking.
I don't know. Like you have to be mentally ill.
If you're gonna put a right or wrong or label something right or wrong, and to say, okay, he's chopping people's heads off. So we're saying from a society point of view, that's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, because we're not cannibals.
We're not cannibals. So it becomes wrong. Now, right and wrong is arbitrary. It's, you know, how do you really determine what's truly right and truly wrong? But in this sense, we will say that that's wrong. Where does that come from? Where does it come from?
The law?
I'm saying, where does the action come from? Where does somewhere along the line in that person's mind, they say, I know what I will do. I will take this machete. I will kill this person. I will chop their head off, cook it and eat it. Where does that action is born out of? Somewhere. It didn't just come from drinking Pepsi. It had to have come from somewhere.
Demona said, all this depends on the God they may believe in, or if that person even believes at all. Some people act as if they were hatched by the sun and raised by wolves.
Okay. Well, then that means that action comes from the sun and comes from wolves. Then that's where their action will come from. So ultimately, then, if we believe that, then where did the sun come from, and where does the wolves come from? There always has to be a beginning. It began somewhere.
Well, we know all things begin and end with God.
Okay.
If He is the creator, then all things begin and end there. All things begin in creation.
So can we honestly say that all these things have happened and it has caught God completely off?
No,
he didn't expect
no,
none of this.
No, I've
I
never said
created
that.
you. No, what? No, I'm just asking. I created you, and now I let you out in the world, and you did things that I really didn't expect you to do. You started killing people.
No,
you started doing everything.
No, if you go by scripture, then all of this is because of Adam and sin.
Which again,
all of this dates back to Adam and sin. And God knows that we were going to sin. He knew that.
Did he really know?
He knew.
Did he really know?
Yeah, he did.
So if he knew, I'm just if he really did know, then on some level, then wouldn't that say that he allowed it to happen? I know what you're gonna do, Adam. I put you in the garden. I put those trees there. I could have created this garden and put those trees in
he chose not to. That part of that was free will.
I told you not to.
He didn't want. Okay,
I
don't think God wanted us to live under this utopian unicorn sprinkles. Everything is okay. That wasn't the design, I don't think, from the beginning. Because if it had been, there wouldn't have been a tree of knowledge. It would have just been all good. There wouldn't have been nothing else there for us to mess with.
This is the part that has always baffled me about religion, because religion preaches that garden and everything, and that it wasn't God's intent for all these things to happen, yet God set it up so that they could happen. And they say, well, that allows man to have free choice, free will, fine and dandy. But if you give them free will, yet you punish them for the decisions they make, which you freely gave, how is it free?
But see, we're not punished though.
Yes, you are.
No, we're not, because Jesus has already. The punishment is over. Man just preaches continuously on this whole punishment, death, and hell, and you gonna get this and you gonna get that. If we're still gonna be punished, then Jesus' death was in vain.
But see,
there is no more punishment
again. So,
but this is how people use scripture to keep us in bondage. There is no more punishment.
So what we're saying is that there's no more punishment, that there was punishment.
There was punishment.
And so God says, well, I'm giving you free will, but I'm going to, this is going to happen to you. Bad things, I'm not going to say punish. Bad things will happen to you if you choose something other than what I want you to choose. And then I'm going to give you an escape clause, being my son. Now, if you happen to choose him, then good things happen. But if you still choose bad, then bad things happen.
Well, then that's what you get. So you chose bad.
It's still punishment.
Then that's what you get.
Well, so you're still punishing them for the choices they make.
And you should be.
Well, see, that's what I said from the beginning.
Even in man's law, you get punished for choices that you make. If you park at a place and you don't pay for your parking thing, you'll get a ticket. Or if where we used to live, Child, if you didn't move your car across the street on a street sweeper day, you would get a ticket. So there is still punishment for choices that you make. If you go into a store and you steal something, you can go to jail. There is punishment in everything if you do wrong.
Here again, if we agree that there's punishment and you have free will, then it goes back to saying that how is free will free when you're punished for the choices that you make? Now, what I'm saying is, now, according to the lay of the land and laws and things like that, sure, I can do whatever I want. And there are consequences for that. So I understand that. If I run the red light, then I get a ticket. I understand that. That's the law of the land. But in terms of the tree and making the decision for the tree, if I choose to eat of that tree which you planted and you gave me access to,
and told you not to,
yeah, you told me not to, but you gave me access to it and I did it. Now, because of that, there's consequences, right? There's consequences. Well, hold on. There's consequences. So all this goes on to say that it's in the plan. You knew I was going to do this anyway. So if you knew I was going to do it, can I say you allowed me to do it? You allowed me to do that. Because if I wasn't allowed to do it, I would not have had access. How many people are born with wings? Not too many. Not too many. We weren't
I don't
born.
think any people are born with wings.
Okay. So is it safe to say that we weren't flying until what? A couple of hundred, maybe 100 years ago? We didn't start flying in planes and stuff like that. We didn't have the wherewithal to create planes until recently, according to, if we look at the history of man. But in the beginning, God didn't allow you to, the birds of the air, they fly. You weren't born with wings. I didn't give you access to wings. Later on, through my wisdom, you created a makeshift thing so that you can fly. But in the beginning, you didn't have wings.
In the beginning, we didn't have cars. We didn't have
any of that.
We didn't have trains. We didn't have bicycles. We didn't have nothing.
There are certain things that God set in place that you just can't get around. You can't get around. We can't right now read minds. It's just not possible. I mean, maybe it is on certain levels, but we can't read minds. We don't have superhuman strength. We can't walk through walls. We can't do a lot of things. These things we don't have access to. God did not allow us to have access to that. But he gave us access to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that through that we can develop some things and stuff like that. But in the beginning, we didn't have access to a lot of things, but he gave us access to it. So it means that he allowed us to have it. He allowed us to have it. So he knew Adam was going to do what he was going to do. He knew.
Okay. We agree on that.
Yeah. So
why you... I agree with you.
I'm saying this because all this comes about because God has allowed it. So the boy that believes he's God and has did the raping and all that stuff to women, he did that because he's allowed to do it. Sure, there's consequences for his action.
And that's why he's sitting in jail now. There are consequences.
There's consequences for that.
Let him go pee.
That doesn't change the fact that he's allowed to do it and he had the power to do it. And on top of that, people let him do it.
Yeah, other people were there and allowed it to happen. But does that make him God?
No. But hell, I eat French fries and I eat a hamburger. Does that make me God? No. The only thing that's going to make you God is your belief that says so. So if you believe you are, then okay. If you believe you're a woman or a man, then who am I to argue with you? But if you believe you are, which he does, so be it. If that's the way he feels, so be it. I don't believe it.
Well, just because someone believes something does not make it true.
To them it does, though.
Yeah, but to me it doesn't.
Apparently, well, you're not in the cult.
Right.
But you're following it. You're talking about it. you're giving that cult energy through conversation. Be it you're talking about the actions and activities, you're in it. You're in it. I don't even know about it. There's probably some other people that don't really know
Well,
about
I don't know that
but
much about it either. I'm still piecing together
yeah.
things.
But see, at the time, there were people that were in it that believed it, and the more they got into it, they believed it's just like anything else. I mean, hell, we talk about McDonald's when they decided to make McDonald's. It was just an idea until they
Yeah,
started flipping hamburgers and stuff.
but my watching it, I can watch 15 hours of something, but that will not change my perspective if I already feel that the situation is wrong.
No,
So
no,
just because I'm watching it don't mean,
no,
oh well, yeah, by tomorrow I'm gonna be in the cult and believe in their crazy concepts too. No.
no. But
Cause
somebody
I
will.
watch all kind of shit on YouTube, and I don't. It doesn't change my mind about how I feel about
That's
people,
true.
how I feel about men, women,
But the
cats,
fact is,
dogs, aliens, flat Earth society. I watch all kind of stuff.
the fact is, somebody will.
Yeah, a lot of people will because that's how they. A lot of the people found the cult was through social media.
This is how it creates. So, yeah, some people, a lot of people will say no, 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 but
Yeah,
somebody
there are
will.
some people that said yeah, but that don't mean that the people that said yeah are right.
No, it's not a question of right or wrong. It's just if I like strawberry shortcake but nobody else do, and I keep asking people, I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna say, sure, I like it. Does that make strawberry shortcake good? No,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
and I
It
guess
doesn't make it anything.
if
Strawberry
you
shortcake is just
walking
strawberry
around
shortcake.
saying that you God, eventually somebody will be like, "Well, yeah, I guess he is." Just like the man that made millions of dollars selling pet rocks. Everybody knew that those were just rocks, but they. I wanted you to take him to use the bathroom.
Let me finish getting dressed. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna be late. It's already.
Did nobody tell you to be talking? You know you can't just say one thing and leave. Y'all gonna make my husband late for work. Y'all know he can't shut up. He forever talking. God damn. It's 3:30. This man about to be late for work. Okay, so who in here who did okay, for one, if anybody wants to come on, you can click the link and you can come on and talk with me. The link is in the chat somewhere. Let me see. Yeah. The link is in the chat. If you want to come on and express yourself, this is a safe space. If you feel like you are God and this is the time that you want to come out and tell the world this is a safe space, you can do that here. Or if you don't feel like you are, then you can tell me why you don't. I don't. I just feel like I am a regular person living a human experience. I have always put God above myself. I don't feel like we're all on the same level when it comes to God because there are so many things that, God can do that I can't do. If I was God, like if I truly felt like I was God, my mother would still be here. My sister would still be here. My father would still be here. There would be no way in the world I would allow them to leave and leave me here by myself. If I was God, I would have stopped that from happening. There's no way I would have allowed my 2-month-old sister to die of crib death. I just would not. As God, I would have stopped that. I would not have allowed my mother to die of cancer. If I was God, I would have fixed that. I could not see people suffering here in the state that I live in, people living in tents under freeway overpasses, in parks. If I was God, I would fix that. But I'm not. And all of these people who, if you're walking around and you feel like you're God, why are you not doing things to help other people? You're selfish. You're a selfish God. You're here on earth living a godly experience and you're not helping anybody else. I don't understand that. That's why I don't understand the situation with Carbon Nation. You are God, but you are hurting people. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Because it would, to me, seem like if you are God, you would be adding to this world and helping this world, not hurting or not even just adding anything to other people's experience. Because even just as regular humans, we do that. We try to help each other. If you see somebody on the side of the road or whatever, you may pull over. Now, we so scared of each other. Some people don't even do that. But if someone flags you down or something, you see a woman with a flat tire, you may pull over and try to help or at least call someone to help her. If you can't fix the flat tire yourself, maybe you'll call someone, to come out and try to help her. If a good-hearted person, you see people in the park all the time, maybe on the weekends, you make sandwiches and, feed the hungry or whatever. That's God, because you have love and compassion for other people. You see other people hurting and you want to do your best to try to help them, not just look at other people and just be like, oh, well, that ain't me. It ain't my family. That ain't my sister on the side of the road. That's my only thing. Are you just using this God title as a title to put yourself above other people, or are you really out here trying to help people? That's what I want to know. So, are you? Not too many people will, just really answer the question. Are you God? Are you a God? Do you consider yourself God? Do you believe that you were created in the likeness of God? Are we like God? Is our being similar to God? How similar are we? Do you feel like you have powers that you have just not tapped into because, the world, we're so busy, we're so tapped into so many other things like social media and work and kids and relationships? Do you even have time to tap into those? Hold on, y'all, let me let Gizmo out to use the bathroom. Hold on, I'm coming. Come on, go on. Dang boy, did you leave? Oh, gonna poop later, okay? I don't think you have to poop though. Because if you did, you would have went on to the back. Um, do you feel that there are so many distractions now? Is so much going on in Babylon. Every time somebody says that, I'm sorry. It's just funny to me. And if that's offensive, I'm sorry, but it is funny to me when people, refer to the real world as Babylon. There's so much stuff going on in Babylon that we can't concentrate on our real spiritual gifts. Like we don't have time to concentrate on the gifts that God has really given us. I can't stand that beard oil stuff.
That's not Zima child.
Oh, okay, I don't like that. I never did like Noxzema.
What don't you like?
I just don't like the way Noxzema smell. It's a lot of things that I do like, but Noxzema ain't one of them. So you ain't got to worry about me messing with that. So do we feel like because of the distractions, because a lot of people say that the distractions are there to keep us from, I'll fix it, just go, child, you already late. I'll get it. The distractions are there to keep us from being able to tap into our spiritual gifts.
Yes, I do believe that.
Babe, was that a spider?
What?
I just saw something fall. I swear I did.
Something fall where?
Out of your hand. Look on your pants. No, these right here on the hanger.
China fell.
Okay.
She's about to jump on that skin.
I was about to have a heart attack. Demona said, I would like to consider myself godly, although there's still some thug in Demona, you ain't got no thug in you, girl. And it ain't buried too deep. Help me, Lord. I had a great childhood minus the fights. I had a really good childhood. I only had one fight that I can remember. And I don't even really consider that a fight. So I didn't have a lot of fights. But do you feel that there is so much going on in the world that we are getting farther and farther away from our godliness because there's so much going on? There, you know, even though the Bible speaks of wars and rumors of wars, like there have been wars since biblical times. People have always fought over territory and space and all of that kind of stuff. So that has always been a thing for people. War and fighting in territory, and this is my land, this is not your land. So that's always been the case. So we can't say, oh, because of everything going on now with the war and stuff, people are, really distracted. There have always been distractions. There's always been something going on. Like people have always worked, even though, like, even in biblical times, people were slaves, people were working, people were building houses. You may have been a servant, you may have been a shoemaker, you may have made the baskets, you may have been a tailor, you may have made the clothes, you may have been a jewelry maker. It was more simplistic, but people were always working. Something was always moving. You were always doing that. There was always somebody out there supervising the work. And when you would get finished working, you would go home. Just like now, things are just more technology, more jobs, more things are going on now than it used to be. But we've always been in a state of, doing this, going here, doing that. Even with the carbonation situation, even though when they said that when they were in Mexico or wherever, they were closer to nature and the land, you still got to have somebody get the groceries. If they were growing their own food, they still had to till the land, they still had to water, they still had to plant, they still had to reap. If they weren't planting, they had to go to the grocery store, they had to come home, they had to cook, clean. Someone had to be in charge of cleaning the house, taking care of the men, washing the clothes. So you're never going to be in a state of just complete bliss. You have to, somebody got to do something. We're not all just, walking around dusty, dirty, musty because we're not taking baths. Because I did hear that at one point they were not bathing. The one of the news reports said that they were a cult that didn't bathe. Now I haven't saw any of the videos at the stages where they weren't bathing. I haven't probably went back far enough to get to that point yet, but I would like to find how he justified not bathing. I would just like to hear, like, how do you justify not taking a bath? Is that a Babylonian concept? Is it just more natural for now? I can see not using products that have a lot of chemicals and all of these face washes and facial masks and all of this stuff that they sell in stores. Now I can see not using that kind of stuff, but you got to put some water on your butt, okay? Because if you don't, you're gonna be musty. And you know, even the Bible say cleanliness is next to godliness. So even God don't want you to be out here musty. So I do want to see how he justified them. Hi, Arnita. I would like to see how he justified them not bathing. That I would like to see. Not bathing is old European. Even they got tired of stinking though. Even they realized after a while that no matter how much perfume they used, they still smelled funny and they got tired of that and they started bathing. Even the Europeans, after a while, got tired of being nasty and got tired of stinking and realized that they wanted to, be more sophisticated and wear all these beautiful high society gowns and stuff. And you didn't want to wear that stuff and still be stinking. So even they started to change their concept of bathing. A lot of the European not bathing was because they didn't have running water. And it was hard for them to be bringing in water and tubs and throwing that water away. It was because they didn't have running water and sanitation. But once they got that figured out, they started bathing. Even they didn't want to stink. So why then do we go backwards and go back to stinking and being nasty? Because I don't care what nobody says, even if you are eating clean, your body from sweat alone is still going to produce an odor. And some people want to believe, I don't know why, that if you're vegan, you're not eating any meat, you're only eating. Hold on a minute. Just a minute. Huh? Oh, everybody gone? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm not going nowhere. No, I don't know that anybody can be here. Okay. Okay. Go sit down, Gizmo. What was I saying? Oh, about the vegan thing. A lot of people believe that um if you're vegan, you don't stink. You won't have any body odor. But if you are working and sweating, your body is going to produce an odor. It can't help it. In crevices and stuff, like especially your under your arms where it's sweating, and it's dark, and in between your legs where areas where sweat and oil um collects, it's going to produce an odor, vegan or non-vegan. But see, I'm the type of person, I've never had really bad body odor. I just don't. I I just don't. I don't grow any hair under my arms, which has been weird. Every doctor that I've seen thought that that was the strangest thing. I've never grown any hair under my arms. I do not have a lot of body hair. So I've never been, one of those people that has a very strong odor. Now I can get musty, but I don't have like a whole lot of body odor. I smelled the same exact way when I was vegan. Me and my husband were vegan for a year and a half, I think. I think for a year and a half. And if you listen to my husband, you can tell that my husband is ex-military. He is a stickler. When he does something, he goes all in. So we were hardcore crazy vegan. Like crazy vegan to the point where, we were like losing friends and everything because we were really hardcore vegans, watching all the documentaries and going through this whole thing, but I still smelled the same. My husband still smelled the same. Like his body odor didn't change. We didn't stop bathing. I was not using a lot of, but I don't really use a whole lot of perfumes and stuff anyway though. But I did stop using certain products, a lot of products and stuff. I wasn't using um I was only using like certain deodorants, certain toothpaste, certain soaps, all that kind of stuff. Because child, we was vegan, okay. But I smelled the same. I still took a bath or a shower. I didn't stop doing those things because I was vegan and felt like, oh, if I stop bathing, my shit not gonna stink because I'm vegan. No, your poop still stinks. You poop. Poop is not supposed to smell like roses. And all of the vegans talking about, oh, my poop don't stink because I'm vegan. I can, poop and no one will even know it. No, it's still gonna smell like poop. You still gonna get musty. And if you was a musty, super musty person before, you still gonna be musty. Especially if you're not taking care of your body. So I don't that whole concept, I just didn't I didn't understand the whole thing about the they're not bathing. I do understand the whole thing about wanting to be more natural, wanting to get back to, the earth and eating healthy. And, sometimes you do have to unplug and get away from all of these things in society that, can drive us into having anxiety and being upset all the time, being angry all the time. Yeah, we have to unplug from these things. Like over the um Easter holiday, my family cooked all of the traditional stuff. Ham, um chicken. We had like fried chicken, baked chicken, hot chicken, sweet chicken, spicy chicken, all kind of greens with ham hocks and ham, macaroni and cheese, just all of this stuff, beans, cornbread, cakes, pies, just potato salad, just all of this stuff, right? So you know that of course there's food left over and you're eating leftovers, and like this week I feel like shit. Because see, I don't normally eat like that. So I was telling my husband today, we had went to the grocery store. I was like, "Oh hell no. I got to get some fruits and vegetables, and we got like green juice and all of that kind of stuff because I got to give my gut a rest." Like last night, I felt like I was going to be sick. And I have IBS anyway. I know I'm not supposed to be eating a lot of that stuff. Like I can eat it, but I have to take it in, small doses, like one day. But eating leftovers for 2 or 3 days and you eating that kind of stuff, my stomach and my head, I just feel sluggish. And it's the food. It's the food. So you do have to, sometimes realize, okay, I didn't had enough. And so we went to the grocery store this morning. I got like raspberries, what's them dark ones? The blackberries, strawberries, cantaloupe. And I finally tried those cotton candy grapes. I got those grapes. I got the red grapes, just cantaloupe, watermelon, just all kind of fresh stuff to eat to counteract all of the stuff that I ate over the weekend in the past couple of days. So sometimes we do have to, you know, realize what we're doing wrong and do something different. And that's basically what, I've been doing. So to get back to the question, do you feel like you're God? Was that the question? How did I phrase it? Are you a God? I feel like I am godly and godlike, but I do not put myself on the same level as God Himself. And when I say Him, I mean Him slash her. Because, I got to throw the divine feminine in there also. But I don't feel like I am on the same level as God. And that's for me. Now, my husband, he didn't bust out and say he God. You say he do. He feel like he is. But that's him. We are two totally different people. Um, Me and my husband are two totally different people when it comes to the way we process religion anyway. Um, Even though we both grew up Christian, we grew up at the same church. That was how we met each other at church. But his philosophy on the Bible, I have noticed, is a lot different from mine. A lot different from mine and a lot different than what he is used to be. Because I've known him for a long time. And I've known him from the time that he was all in Christianity. Anything outside of Christianity, you were demonic. I've known him from that period up until where he is now, which is totally different than what he used to be. So I don't um feel like I am God. I feel like I'm connected to God. I feel like I was created in his image, but I don't feel like I am God. So that's it, y'all. Um, didn't nobody want to come on and plead their case? Because I'm willing to listen to anybody. If you feel like you are God, then you God. I'm not going to follow you into a cult like situation and let you put me in a position where I can be hurt. I'm not going to do that, but I'll listen to your philosophy or how you feel about the whole situation. I'm open minded. Now, you're not going to catch me slipping, but I am open minded. I'm extremely open minded, but I'm not open minded to the point where I'm going to put myself in a position to get hurt by someone that thinks they're God. That's not going to happen. Not not where I am now with the knowledge that God has given me. I'm just not going to do that. So that's it, y'all. But one of the reasons why I had asked that question yesterday is there is a YouTuber that I follow, and they're in more of the tea genre of YouTube, and they make videos about other people, like talking about other people. And then when someone talks about them, they go into this whole diatribe about being close to God. And if you were close to God, you wouldn't talk about people. You're demonic. You are a demon. That's why you talk about people. And I'm just wondering, like, so when you're talking about people, you're not, because you're closer to God than other people. Those are the people that you have to watch. Anybody that thinks they are closer to God than you, I got my good eye on you, because something is going on. We're all created by the same God. We all have the same connection to God. Like, your connection to God ain't no stronger than mine. Even if you spend more time meditating and you know doing what you think is right, you praying and everything, we still have the same connection to God. You just spend more time with him than I do. Well, we still have the same connection. I'm his child just like you. And he don't have no children that he loved more than the other ones. Just like you as a parent. You should be loving all of your kids the same. Yeah, you may have one child that gets on your nerves, but you still love them. You don't show well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be showing your children that you love one of them more than you love the other, because then that causes division between them. So God is the same way. He's not out here, oh, I love Lashana. She's my little light skinned baby. I love her. Now, I don't love you like I love her. No, that does not exist in God's world. And if it's people out here saying, Gizmo, you are doing too much. God damn, I'm going to tear my blanket up trying to get comfortable. If it's people out here saying that kind of stuff, then yeah, I'm side eyeing them because God loves all of us. He don't love me no more than he love you. He just don't. What is that? Squirrel. I'm so easily distracted. What the hell? That is? So that's it. That's all I got, y'all. Cause y'all quiet and I'm tired of talking. Don't nobody want to come on and talk with me. My husband gone. I ain't got nobody to talk with me, and I'm tired of talking now. Plus, I'm getting hungry. This make me hungry. I'm hungry. I'm ready to go eat. I'm about to go and get my salad and fix my salad and eat me some fruit, and that's gonna be it. Tomorrow's my husband's birthday. I'm not really sure what we're going to do. Um, we normally do like to go out and eat, but he hasn't even figured out what he wants to eat, where he wants to go. Shit, we probably end up in San Francisco somewhere because we have not made reservations. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna call him probably about an hour and tell him if you want to go somewhere special, you better try to make you a reservation, job, to go somewhere. I really want to go to like a nice steakhouse, but it ain't my birthday. But still, sure. And he want a German chocolate cake for his birthday, and I don't like German chocolate. It ain't my birthday. So we'll probably go tomorrow and find him a German chocolate cake. He's talking about going to the movies. I don't want to go to no movies on your birthday. I want to go to like a nice restaurant or something. I want to go to a steakhouse and you know, like get dressed up, wear a cute, put on my Sunday, go to meeting wig and wear something cute. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll probably film it. Who is that? I'll probably film it and put it on the other channel. Because I'm gonna start putting the stuff that we do, Hush Gizmo, on the other channel. And if y'all know what that is, I'm gonna put it in the community tab. So that's it, y'all. Thank you for coming and thank you for having your opinion. Those of you that did have an opinion, thank you for having an opinion. And looks like this is going to keep going because every day this one channel is uploading like older videos that are related to this situation. So, we're gonna be talking about this off and on for a while until he go to jail or whatever. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming. Bye.